All right, we're going to start with question 1. And on question 1, it's basically a combined like terms problem. The only thing that you have to figure out is whether or not there's any reason for the parentheses or if they do anything. So for the first set of parentheses, in front of that is like a plus sign. And anytime that there is a plus sign in front of parentheses, you do nothing. Like if you multiply by times 1, it does nothing. So all I'm going to do is rewrite all those terms that are in the first one because it's like a plus sign in front. The second set of parentheses, this one has a minus sign in front of it. If there's a minus sign, that means you have to do something. And some quiz versions have a minus here. Some of them have a plus. If you have a minus, you need to distribute it in. And if you have a plus right here, all you do is rewrite what's in here in parentheses. It doesn't change. So if you have a minus, I'm going to show you that what you do is you change the sign of everything. If it's positive, it becomes negative. If it's negative, it becomes positive. It's opposite. So right now it's positive, negative, positive. It's going to be opposite of that. Negative, positive, negative is what it's going to turn into. So negative 4x to the third, positive 2x, negative 3x squared. Then it's combining like terms. So I'm going to go through here and there's no x to the fourth terms except for this one. I have 2x squared terms, so I'm going to put those two together.
Wait, Ms. Turner, so wouldn't it be positive, positive, then negative?
No, because this one is positive, so it makes it negative. Negative, so it becomes positive. And then positive, so it becomes negative. I also see 2x terms, so I could put those together as well. This is a multiple choice quiz. However, I can give you partial credit for working out the problem if you're working out the problem. If you just go through and you answer, if you pick answers, it's just all wrong. So please get partial credit. From here, we're going to put them in order, the biggest exponent first, and then we're just going to rewrite them and combine like terms as we go. So I'm going to start with 2x to the fourth. Nothing can combine with that, so it's just 2x to the fourth. And I can mark them off as I go so that I can make sure that I don't rewrite something. So I went for exponent of 4. The next one I'm going to write is exponent of 3. Nothing to combine there, so I just write minus 4x to the third. Mark that one off. Okay, now I'm going to do the x to the second power. So it goes 4, 3, now we're at x to the second power. So I have 4 minus 3. What's 4 minus 3? Okay, so plus 1 x to the second power. And I can mark those off because I just used them. For this one, I have minus 7 plus 2. Negative 5, very good. And then I have plus 1 at the end. Please don't try and do this one in your head. This one is too easy to get wrong. Write it out. It's too easy to get wrong. The next problem, it says simplify. Some of you have to distribute in the 2, and some of you aren't going to have an exponent. So it just depends. But if you start with the exponent on the outside, you'll have to distribute everything. So you have to distribute the exponent to everything on the top, and then everything on the bottom. And I rewrite it. So we need to remember that this becomes 6 to the second power. And then you multiply these exponents. So it's A, 2 times 2 becomes 4. B, it's like 1 times 2 or just 2. C, 3 times 2 is 6. And then we get 8 to the second power. 5 times 2 is 10. 2 times 2 is 4. 1 times 2 is 2. From here, I can simplify. So I know that 6 squared is 36. What's 8 squared? What's 8 times 8? 64. Okay. From here, every one of my exponents, I have to look for where the bigger one is. This one has a bigger number on the bottom, so I'm going to subtract 4. This one will go away. I subtract 4. For the b's, I'm bigger on bottom, so I'm going to have to bring this down and subtract 2. I'm not going to write it on the top. It'll be minus 2. And then here, I have 6 on the top, 2 on the bottom. It's bigger on the top, so it'll go away on the bottom, and I subtract 2. Now I can rewrite them. So it'll be A on the bottom. I think I heard Sid already say it. It's 6. And then B, 4, 3, 2. And then C is going to stay on the top, 6, 5, 4. Can anything still reduce? Yeah, these can reduce. So let's think of the biggest number that can go into both 36 and 64. 4 can definitely go into both of them. So 4 goes in, does 12 go into both of them? I don't know. I haven't reduced this. Guess what? Your calculator, it'll actually reduce the fraction for you. Let me show you how. So what you type in is the fraction. So we've got 36 divided by 64. So if you always struggle with this, the calculator will do it. Then you press math, enter, enter, and it reduces it for you. So what is it? Math, it's on the left side. It's under alpha. Math, enter, enter. And it 36 divided by 64. Math, enter, enter, and it will reduce your fraction. That was pretty easy, right? So this becomes 9c to the 4th over 16a squared b squared. So again, to reduce your fraction, you type in what you want to reduce. 36 divided by 64. Math, enter, enter. The calculator won't do that for you. Oh, I subtract. So I just look for who's bigger, the 4 or the 10. The 10, so I subtract 4. Who's bigger, 4 or 2? 4, so I subtract 2. Who's bigger, 6 or 2? 6, so I subtract 2. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. It's the end of the day. I'm tired. I'm ready for the weekend. So it should have been exactly the same. Does that make you feel better now? Sorry. My bad. I don't really know. I don't really know. It was not supposed to be a to the second power. It's supposed to be a to the sixth power. Are we good with questions 1 and 2? Please get those right. Please work them out. Please show your work. Some of you will get problems and it starts here, and you should be able to reduce it. Moving on, simplify the expression. This one means I need to multiply. This was not supposed to be a different variable. It was supposed to be an m. On your quiz, they're all the same. This is supposed to be an m. They should be an m. It should be an m. To do this, I'm going to use a box because I feel like a box is a little bit easier. You could also use foil if you wanted to. So I'm going to have my box. I have 2m squared minus 3m plus 4, and then 3m minus 2. So as I distribute these in here, I have 3 times 2 is 6, and then I count the exponents. 2 and 1 make 3. So I get 6m to the third You can fill out the boxes in whatever order, but I'll just go zigzag. So 2 times -2 is -4. And there's the m squared. I don't do anything with it. Up here, 3 times -3 gives me -9, and I have 2 m's. So -9m squared. Negative times a negative is going to be a positive. 3 times 2 is 6. And there's an m. 4 times 3 is 12. And there's an m. Is that him that's snoring? From here, it's like reverberating off of all of the walls. So it sounds like it's over there, but I kept feeling like it was him. I'm sorry. You can move up here if you like. And then for my very last square, I've got 4 times -2, so that's -8. For these, I can look for like terms as well. I can't do anything with the first or the last, but that's an m squared and an m squared, so those can go together. And m, those can go together. So I'm going to combine like terms diagonally and rewrite. So this becomes 6m to the third. I can't combine anything with that. -9 minus 4. -9 minus 14. We're getting more negative. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I was making. And then we have 6 plus 12. And then -8. That is your answer. Please get that one right. Again, just make a box, multiply it. Oh, yeah, I know. Jeez. I even said 18 out loud. I don't know why I wrote 8. Is it still raining outside? Is it sunny? I like sunny days. Simplify. Don't get this one wrong. This one is so easy peasy. We multiply the numbers and we add the exponents. So 5 times -3 is -15. For the x's, 2 plus 3 gives me 5. For the y's, 4 plus 3 gives me 7. Done. Please get that one right. Questions on either one of these? On 4? Because anytime that you have two things written in parentheses, you're multiplying. When you multiply coefficients, you add exponents. Good question. When we were over here we're dividing. When you divide coefficients, you subtract exponents. So when you multiply, you add exponents. When you divide, you subtract exponents. We are almost done. Both of these problems are going to use synthetic division. How you set them up is one small difference. Well, you first have to make sure that you have all the missing terms, but just putting the number that goes outside this number for this type of problem. So you have one that looks like this. If it's the f of a number, that's f of x. The x is what's there. You don't change it. Whatever is in parentheses, that is the number that goes here. This is always the same. Don't do anything with it. It is the same. Here, however, if it's x plus 3, then I know that x actually equals what? -3. This one is the type of problem that it is different. Okay, when it's f of a number, it's exactly the same. When it's written like this, you've got to make it opposite. On your quiz, the question that I ask you about synthetic division, you don't even have to do synthetic division. I'm having you set up the problem. That's it. You're just setting it up. So your multiple choice question is find the correct setup of the problem. And what I'm looking for is, can you identify if there's any missing terms? Are there missing terms for this one? Yes. We go 4, we're missing 3, we've got 2, we're missing 1. So we're missing 2 of the terms. Here, there should be a 0. Here, there should be a 0. We're missing them. So when I go to write my setup, I will have 12, 0, -9, 0, 18. That's the setup. Okay, please don't miss the terms, and please make sure you do the opposite. For this one, to use synthetic division to evaluate, we're going to set it up. Let's check for missing terms. Is there anything missing? No. 3, 2, 1, none. No missing terms. So I'm going to set it up. I've got 1, 4, -15, -18. For this type of problem, the entire answer is your answer. For this type of problem, all we care about is the remainder only. So let's get some practice doing synthetic division. Our very first step, you drop it like it's hot. 1 times -3 is -3. 4 minus 3 is 1. 1 times -3 is -3. This one always trips us up. -15 minus 3 is what? -18. We're getting more negative, so -18. Negative times a negative is going to give us a positive. What's 3 times 18? 54. And what's 54 minus 18? The answer to this problem is only the remainder. So when you're doing the multiple choice problem and you're like, why is it only answers like 6, 4, 12, 11, whatever? It's because it only cares about the remainder. You also have a question on your quiz that is asking about long division. But for that problem, I give you a long division problem and I worked it out. I did the math. I worked it out. The answer choice is the one that finds the solution. Like, you need to know that in a long division problem, that the answer is always the stuff at the top, on the top of the bar. That is your answer. Plus, always plus, always plus, always plus the remainder divided by whatever you were dividing by. So all you have to do is look at my work and give me the answer. We are going to get ready to take our quiz. To do that, y'all know that y'all need to take a walk up to the